Hello and welcome to the Entrepreneur Ride Along. This is my 5 niche site ideas. Thank you for downloading. This is a quick video breaking down my favorite niche site idea. This is one of the niches that I've been involved with for about 4 or 5 years now. I generate about $4,000 to $5,000 in passive income per month from this specific niche. That's why it's my favorite idea, because I make the most money from it. And it's just such a simple niche idea, really easy to start your first online business here. So it's something you can definitely do to start your first online business. So let's take a look at it. I'll give you some examples here of exactly what I'm doing and what you can do. So it's called the exam prep niche. You may have heard me talk about it before. But essentially what this is we are taking study material for an exam, a designation, a certification, anything that you take during your day job. Such as the CPA, CFA, the bar exam, something like that. You study for this exam and you create your own study material, or you create some type of service or product centered around these exams to help people pass these exams. So, as the name kind of defines here, what I call it is the exam prep niche. So I do this with one of my sites. I'll pull it up here quick for you. So this is one of my websites here called Associate PI. It stands for Associate in Personal Insurance. It's an insurance designation. It's the CPCU and API exams. So this is my exam prep site. And what I do is I sell online courses on this website to help people pass these exams and earn their certification. And it's such a simple niche. I realized when I was studying for these exams that I hated the study material. So I created my own, and once I started getting into this website and started generating a lot of passive income from this website, I realized it was so easy to create these types of websites in this specific niche. I mean, there's so many options for me to expand here if I wanted to. I could create flashcards, I could do tutoring, I could have a textbook. I figured out through a bunch of different testing that online courses was the best way for me to differentiate for this specific certification, this designation that I am pursuing, that I studied for and created my own study material. But just goes to show that, I probably only get 5,000 new users per month, new visitors coming to my website each month. But I sell anywhere from 30 to 40 courses per month at $400 per course. I'm bringing in anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000 in passive income per month from this one simple website idea. So it just goes to show that, it's a very viable option for you if you're studying for exams, or, if you have a day job right now and you could be studying for something, because then you get credit from your employer. They're happy when you're pursuing, additional education. So it would look good for your employer, and it's such an easy idea. You can take that and turn it into a study guide and sell online as a PDF. You can turn it into an audio book really easily. So just a really quick idea here. So that's my website. You can check that one out if you want, or shoot me an email if you want to learn more about that one. But the reason why I chose the exam prep niche, why it's my favorite, well, obviously it's my favorite because I've made over $160,000 in passive income over the last 3 years from this one simple website. And you can do that too very easily. But these are the 3 reasons why it's my favorite and why I think you should pursue, or at least consider, this niche. This video isn't to say go out and take this exact example, take what I'm doing and recreate it, but it's just to spark ideas for you, just to think, what are you doing in your day-to-day life? Are you in college right now studying for some exams? In your day job, did you have to study to get your real estate license or nursing license, anything like that, where you've taken exams and you are an expert in that specific area where you could help others? It doesn't have to be online courses. You could be a tutor. It could be one-on-one coaching. You could have a mastermind program where people pay you $1,000 a month to meet up with you every single month to help them pass this exam. I mean, something like bar prep. My fiance passed the bar, and she is an attorney right now, but she had to spend thousands of dollars for bar prep material. If you pass the bar, you could have a group where people pay you $500 to $1,000 per month. They all get together every month, and you all study together in a big study group and help them pass the bar exam. There's so many opportunities here. So I'm getting off track here, but here's the 3 reasons why it's my favorite. I just get excited about it. So number 1 is a validated market. If people are already searching for this exam and studying for this exam, it's validated for you because you know people are searching for this product. They want study material. So what you are creating, you already know that people want. Now, you're going to have to differentiate yourself. It's not necessarily totally validated, but in the sense that you're not creating a brand new product. It's not something nobody has ever seen before. You know there's study material out there. You know people are buying study material. So you know there's a need for your product. The second reason is that it's really easy to niche here. Depending on the designation that you choose, there's typically not much competition. The one that I chose, there was maybe 5 other people selling study material for this exam. There are thousands of certifications, exams, and designations out there. You know, there's marketing certifications, finance certifications, accounting certifications, legal certifications, all these different things. So you can find a niche designation, one that thousands of people are pursuing each year. And you can make that your product, the purpose of your website. And there's not much competition there because you're probably one of the only people that has, first of all, studied for this exam or is pursuing this exam and these designations, and then has the mindset to turn around and create your own study material. Nobody else thinks like that. So it'll just be you. And I've found that when doing research and looking for other niche sites like this, there's not much competition out there in this niche when you find it for a designation or certification within your industry. You know, something like the CPA, CFA, where everybody knows about it, more competition there. But then again, bullet point number 2 here under easy to niche is you can find a niche within a niche. There's so many ways to differentiate. Even if you're studying for the CPA, think about how many different variations there are of study material and how different everybody is and how everybody studies differently and learns differently. You know, you can make a textbook, online course, study guide, flashcards, audio program, video courses, one-on-one mentoring, mastermind group. Like, there's so many different ways to differentiate here. Even if it's a really competitive space, you know, maybe people really want flashcards, but all the flashcards are terrible that are currently being sold on the market. So you can just create a better flashcard and there's your product. You've already differentiated. Or maybe maybe there's study material already out there for the CPA, but everybody hates it and it's really boring. It's really dry. It's really hard to read through. You can be the person that comes in and says, okay, I'm going to make a better study material because it's easier to read. You can study faster and it won't be dry. That's what I did with my online courses. I was taking these exams. I was reading the reviews about the products and the textbook I was going to be using. And I realized everybody hated it because it took forever to study and it was really dry material. So I differentiated myself with an online course, which wasn't out there yet, and I made it easier to read and faster to study. And that was my value proposition. That's how I differentiated. You can do something just like that. The other thing, number 3, why it's my favorite niche is because you can charge such a high price for study material. My online courses, I charge $425 for one course. I also offer a practice exam course. It's just practice exam questions, nothing else. And I charge $200 for that course. If you look at the competition when you're studying, you'll realize you can charge anywhere from around $200, $250, all the way up to $1,000 to $2,000 for the given study material. If you're hosting a live training course, an employer will pay for their employee to attend your training course. They'll pay $1,000 or $2,000 for one person to attend your training. So it's very profitable. People pay a lot of money, mostly because it's the employer paying for an employee to study for these exams. But they'll pay a lot of money to come and use your study material. So those are the 3 reasons right there. It's validated, easy to niche, and you can charge a lot of money once you create the product. All right, so let's look at an example here. So I'm going to show you one niche idea. This is one that I was actually considering. So this is the purpose of the recording here is my niche site ideas. So this is it. And not necessarily for you to take this specific certification and go create a website from it, but this is one that I was going to do because I had researched it. I went pretty in depth into the research, figured out exactly what I was going to do. But now I just don't have time to create it. So I want to give it to somebody else. So you don't necessarily have to take this exact idea, but just let this spark ideas for you and think about, my research here, what I did and how you can replicate this. So I'm going to show you the CAPM certification. It's the Certified Associate in Project Management. So this is one that I was going to study for at work, and I was going to turn it into study material while I was studying for it, but I didn't end up doing it. But I'll show you what I looked at here. And I use Longtail Pro for all of my research, my niche research and keyword research. It's just a great tool to figure out how many people per month are searching for this designation. So I'll show you that here. I'll pull that up. And you can also just search in Google. You can Google, Certified Associate in Project Management, figure out how many people per month are studying or how many people per year are passing this certification. So here it is. This is Longtail Pro. I highly recommend it. I do get a free 7-day free trial. If you are interested, you can go over to theentrepreneurridealong.com/longtailpro. This is how you spell it right there. And, it's worth it for the free 7 days. You can just cancel after the 7 days. So I'm an affiliate because I use them every single day. But it is definitely worth it for this research to figure out keyword volume, how often people are searching for the certification, then figure out how competitive it is to rank on Google for this type of exam. So this is just a baseline research to figure out what people are searching for. So I wanted to show you this because I just did a quick brief search here. You just type in a couple of keywords here and it gives you a bunch of suggestions. But look at CAPM certification. So for this specific exam, this keyword, 6,600 people are searching for it per month. 880 people are searching for CAPM exam. Look at all these things that people are searching for in relation to this exam. What is CAPM certification? In this average KC, this shows you how competitive it is for this keyword. So the lower the score, the more easier it is to rank on Google for this specific keyword. So some of these are competitive, but that's okay. I just wanted to do this for a volume check to make sure people are searching for this certification. So that's the first thing I looked at and I figured, okay, a lot of people are searching for this. There's clearly a need for, there's clearly people studying for this exam. And just to put it out there, it might sound like 6,600 isn't a high number, but in actuality, that's really good for this specific niche. The purpose of a niche website, an online website, is finding that little, small search volume of a highly targeted audience. So this is perfect. I'm not trying to rank for something like project management designations or project management. That would just be way too competitive. But this is a niche within a niche. So it's people in project management that are studying for the CAPM certification. For example, one of my websites, Associate PI, the one that I showed you earlier, it's only a couple thousand people searching for each exam. Actually, in fact, one of the exams, one of my best sellers, only 500 people per month are searching for that specific exam. But every single month, I get about 100 new email subscribers because I rank on Google for this keyword. So I get about 500 new people joining my email list for this specific exam each month. And anywhere from 10 to 15 people buying my course for that specific exam every single month, even though only 500 people are searching for that keyword every month. So 6,600 is very good comparatively. That just goes to show you that don't necessarily look for the certifications that are in the tens of thousands of search volume. I will say the search volume for the term CPCU is about 12,000. So I know about 12,000 people per month are searching for the designation that I create courses for. But the specific exam, CPCU 500, only about 500 people search for that. And that's where I make my money, is by people searching for that exam and they find my courses. So this just goes to show a couple hundred, a couple thousand, that's pretty good search volume for a niche website. You can make thousands of dollars just from this exam. Next thing I did, I just looked up, what is the CAPM? These are just requirements. I figured out what the cost is, how to take the exam, what's required. Just baseline research. But then what I did is I went to Amazon. I figured out what the study material is that people use for this exam, and I looked at the reviews. So I found it here. It's called the PMBOK guide. And if you look at the bad reviews, you can see 24% are 1-star reviews. So people really hate the study material, you can see here. And I read some of the reviews about why people hated it. People are just saying that it's just a bad textbook. It's so boring. It's, the actual textbook itself, they cannot read. It's just poor quality. So I found out why people dislike the study material. And then something else you can do is also check why people do like the study material. Something else I would do is read the 5-star to see what people liked about it and figuring out what can I do with my study material to create something better. I looked at other competitors, who else is selling study material for this. You can see people, not charging too much for these courses. The textbooks are, anywhere from $70 to $180. But I just did CAPM study material, searching for who else is out there selling this. I happen to know from my research that these people, Prepcast, they sell a course that is the most popular. And I learned this from talking to people studying for this certification. And I looked at them and they charge a good price, over about $250. Now that's pretty good. So that's good to see that you can charge a premium for this course, for this study material. These are probably your number one competitor if you choose this certification. But this just goes to show you can charge a good amount of money here. So I thought that was just good to see. So this is the research that I go through. I look at Longtail Pro, figure out how many people are searching for this. I then look at what study material is already out there, what are people buying, and then I'll look at reviews and what people are saying. And then I'll start talking to people that are pursuing the certification and figuring out what they want and what's not currently out there in the market. So just a quick example there to hopefully spark some ideas for you to think about, what's out there now that you could be studying for, that you could turn into an exam prep niche website. And lastly, I just want to give you a couple quick tips how to get started. I kind of dove into this a little bit. I know I'm rambling here. I want to wrap this up quick, so I'll breeze through this quickly. The first thing you should be doing, so these are the 3 tips on how to get started in the exam prep niche. This is what you can do today to create your own online business within this niche. The first thing here is finding your niche. So I always do this by first, I talk to my coworkers, I talk to my boss, and I use Google. I simply search my industry. I work in the insurance industry. So I search, personal insurance designations, insurance certifications, and see what pops up on Google, see what people are studying for. And that just defines certifications and designations that you could potentially study for. So that is finding your niche. Then is using Longtail Pro. Look up the keyword volume, look up that certification. So for example, the CAPM, I would type in Longtail Pro, CAPM certification, CAPM designation. See how many people are searching for that keyword. You want to see probably, I would shoot for, the root keyword like the CAPM, probably want to see a couple thousand people searching for that every single month. Something like CAPM exam or CAPM study material, a couple hundred searching for it is pretty good. But the root designation certification, you probably want a couple thousand people searching for that. And again, theentrepreneurridealong.com/longtailpro. You can get it free for 7 days. It is a premium product, but get the free trial for 7 days just to do your research. It's definitely worth it. Let's see. The next thing I would do, like we talked about with CAPM, is I do a quick search of the competition. What's good, what's bad, what do people like about the current study material out there, what do they dislike, and how can you differentiate from it? Maybe people are saying, I want flashcards. Maybe they're saying, I want better practice exams. You can go out there and create that. So look at what the people like about the study material out there and what they dislike, and how can you make a better study material and differentiate. So for example, people hated the textbooks in my exam prep niche. So I created online courses because people wanted to study while they were at work without lugging a big textbook around. So that's how I differentiated. The second thing to do to get started in this niche is to start talking to your target market. So people studying for this exam, you actually have to talk to them. I recommend talking to at least 50 people before you do anything, figuring out what is their biggest struggle. So when they're studying for these exams, what are they struggling with? And what can you create to meet their needs? So when I did this research, I found that people were struggling with the practice exam questions. People would take these exams, these practice exams to prepare for the real exam, and the questions didn't prepare them for the type of questions they would see on the actual exam. So it was a big struggle. People just didn't feel prepared for this exam. So when I took my exam, I earned the designation first of all, then created the study material. I made sure to pay attention to how the questions were formatted on the real exam, and I created practice exam questions to mimic the format of the actual exam. And people loved it. That was one of their biggest struggles, and I met that need. And I make that very clear in my marketing that I write realistic practice exam questions. So just a way that talking to your target market really helps you understand what people are struggling with, what they like, dislike, and what can you create to then serve that need. Then, of course, number 3 is, kind of broad. You got to start selling. So there's so many different ways to do this. I don't want you to get caught up here. I mean, there's no clear formula to say, this is what you got to do to make money online. What I do, I'm a content marketer. I love writing blogs. I love putting out videos and podcasts, and I drive traffic to my website that way. So I put out a lot of content to drive people to my website, get them on my email list, and then sell them my courses. But I mean, you can really do anything here. You might be an expert at Facebook, LinkedIn. You can use a Reddit to go out and talk to people and show them your course. But in essence here, it's what works for you. Try things, figuring out what works for you, and then pursuing that further and making sure to make that your primary focus to sell your product. But before that, I highly recommend you don't just dive in and make a course before talking to people. Maybe create a minimum viable product or pre-sell your product. I do this a lot where I talk to a lot of people. I'm figuring out they want the study guide. So I'll go create, 2 chapters of the study guide out of 10 chapters. And then I'll pre-sell it to people. I'll put it out there once I start building an email list and a following after I talk to people online. And I'll just say, I put together this 2 chapters. I'll give it to them for free and I'll be like, hey, I'm putting together the rest by the end of the month. I'll sell it to you for 75% off. It's going to be $200 when I'm done with the study guide. I'll sell it to you for $50 right now. And I pre-sell it that way. And that really helps to validate that people actually want what you're selling. If you can get a couple people to buy your product before it's built, you have a viable niche website right there. So highly recommend doing something like that. But that is a whole nother process that I can't go into on this video because I've already gone too long. So if you need help, I highly recommend reaching out to me. I will be happy to jump on a call with you, walk through this, exactly what I do, how I would get started in this niche and what I would be doing to selling and pre-sell. So shoot me an email, jake@theentrepreneurridealong.com. I would be happy to listen to what you're working on. I'd be happy to tell you what I'm working on. And I'd be happy to listen to your other niche ideas, your website ideas, whatever you were thinking about. Gladly let you bounce ideas off of me and we can run through it and find the perfect online business for you. So that does it for this video. This is only video number 1. I've got 4 more coming for you. Other niche sites that I would recommend. So this was just my favorite niche site idea. I've got 4 more coming for you. So make sure you follow along with the next emails or other videos in this process. And I will be happy to share my 5 niche site ideas for you and exactly what I would do to get started in each niche. So go ahead, shoot me an email if you want to chat, talk more about what you're thinking about for your niche. Or you probably received this email. You probably received this video in an email. Go ahead and reply to that email. I'd be happy to talk, get to know you, and figure out what you are working on. All right, that does it for today. Take it easy, guys. I'll see you on the next video.